Why you do this? Understand yourself. Intelligent people are really good at ruining their own peace. Not because they're weak, because their brain refuses to stop processing everything. A normal person gets a weird text and moves on. Your brain? Oh no. Your brain opened 19 emotional tabs, launched a full investigation, predicted 6 future outcomes, replayed the conversation in slow motion, and somehow connected it to something embarrassing you said in 2014. And the worst part? It genuinely feels productive while it's happening. By the end of this video, you're gonna understand why intelligent people often become trapped inside their own minds, and why awareness can quietly turn into psychological chaos. Smart brains don't just notice things. They notice the noticing, which is honestly where the problems begin. Because now your brain isn't just thinking, it's analyzing the thinking, while thinking about why it's thinking that way. You can't just have an emotion. No, now you must. Analyze the emotion, understand the emotion, predict where the emotion came from, imagine future emotions connected to the emotion, create 4 fake scenarios about the emotion, emotionally react to scenarios that never happened. All before breakfast, and somehow people still wonder why you're tired. Highly intelligent people often accidentally turn life into a strategy game. Every interaction becomes, wait, what did that mean? Someone says, okay, and your brain immediately starts checking punctuation, timing, energy, sentence length, emotional temperature, and possible hidden resentment. Meanwhile, the other person sent okay because they were literally walking into IKEA. But your brain? Your brain created a full psychological crime documentary narrated by fear, complete with flashbacks, emotional evidence, witness testimony, and a 47-minute section called Signs They Secretly Hate You. The dangerous thing about intelligent people is that they can argue both sides of every situation. Which means your brain can manufacture anxiety with incredible detail. You can rationalize yourself into panic, then rationalize the panic, then panic about the fact you're panicking. Now your nervous system is overheating because someone took 2 hours to reply and your brain somehow connected it to abandonment, failure, your future, loneliness, and possibly dying alone, emotionally attached to someone who just fell asleep accidentally. Your brain doesn't spiral in a straight line. It spirals in 4K Ultra HD with surround sound. Intelligent brains are really good at pattern recognition, which is amazing, until the brain starts detecting danger in literally everything. Because now your mind is constantly asking, what if? What if this means something? What if I missed something? What if I should prepare emotionally now? And suddenly your brain treats uncertainty like an emergency. This is why overthinking feels productive. Your brain believes, if I analyze this enough, I can prevent future pain. But most of the time, you're not solving problems, you're emotionally rehearsing disasters. Smart people are often horrible at relaxing, because silence gives the brain space to start generating psychological fan fiction. You sit down to relax for 5 minutes, and suddenly your brain says, perfect, time to remember every awkward thing you've ever done. Now you're reliving texts, conversations, mistakes, weird eye contact, that one thing you said too aggressively in 2019. And somehow your body reacts like it happened this morning. That's the exhausting part. Your intelligence becomes trapped in survival mode. Your brain keeps trying to outthink uncertainty, instead of experiencing life normally. The pattern always starts small. Tiny uncertainty, tiny discomfort, tiny social shift, and your brain instantly goes, understood. We should probably prepare for emotional collapse. So now you replay conversations, overanalyze tone, check messages repeatedly, create fake future conversations, imagine worst-case outcomes, mentally prepare speeches nobody asked for. Then eventually you realize, wait, I'm spiraling again, and somehow, that realization also becomes part of the spiral. One side of you knows the overthinking is irrational, but another side says, okay, but intelligent people consider possibilities. And that's where the trap hides. Because your brain starts confusing hypervigilance with intelligence. You start believing, if I stop analyzing, something bad will happen. So now relaxing feels irresponsible, peace feels unsafe, and your brain becomes addicted to monitoring life for hidden danger. Which means your mind never fully clocks out, ever. Here's the loop intelligent people get trapped in. You notice something. Your brain analyzes it. The analysis creates uncertainty. The uncertainty creates anxiety. The anxiety makes the brain analyze more, which creates more uncertainty. And now your brain is basically a dog chasing its own tail while holding a philosophy degree. The worst part? The loop feels important, like your brain genuinely believes this level of stress is necessary. Meanwhile, your nervous system is running 46 background tabs and overheating like a laptop from 2009. A lot of intelligent people became overthinkers because their brain learned early that awareness creates safety. Pay attention, notice shifts, predict outcomes, prepare emotionally. The brain adapted, and honestly, that intelligence probably protected you at some point. But eventually, the survival system stopped distinguishing between real danger and emotional uncertainty. Now your brain reacts to unread texts, awkward pauses, social ambiguity and uncertainty, like incoming psychological warfare. Your intelligence became hypervigilance wearing glasses. After a while, being the overthinker becomes part of identity. You become the self-aware one, the deep thinker, the observant one and the emotionally intelligent one. But secretly, your brain is exhausted, because intelligence without emotional regulation becomes mental overproduction. Your brain keeps generating possibilities, interpretations, predictions and simulations. And eventually you stop living life, because you're too busy mentally pre-living every possible version of it first. Here's the realization that hits intelligent people really hard: not every thought deserves analysis. Just because your brain generated a scenario, doesn't mean it's meaningful. Your brain is a possibility machine. It creates options constantly. That's what intelligent brains do. But overthinking starts when you treat every possibility like evidence. One thought becomes, wait, what if? Then, oh no. Then suddenly, your nervous system is preparing for emotional apocalypse over something that hasn't happened. And may never happen. The shift is realizing, your intelligence is not the problem. Your relationship with your thoughts is. Because smart people often accidentally worship their own thinking. If the brain says it, it must matter. But honestly, some thoughts are just psychological spam mail. Some are fear, some are nervous system noise. Some are your brain trying way too hard to protect you. You don't need to attend every emergency meeting your mind schedules at 1:12 a.m. Intelligent people often believe peace comes from figuring everything out. But most peace actually comes from tolerating uncertainty without mentally attacking yourself. That's the difference, because the brain keeps saying, one more thought and we'll feel safe. But safety never arrives, only more thinking. At some point, you realize your brain isn't solving life. It's trying to control the uncontrollable through analysis. And honestly, that's an impossible job for any nervous system. The real solution isn't becoming less intelligent. It's learning when to stop feeding the machine. You stop treating uncertainty like danger. You stop assuming anxiety equals truth. You stop turning every uncomfortable feeling into a full philosophical investigation. Because intelligent people often suffer twice. Once in imagination, and once in reality if the thing actually happens. And most of the time, the disaster never even arrives. Your brain just emotionally simulated it 73 times for practice. Your intelligence was never supposed to become a prison. It was supposed to help you navigate life, not mentally survive fictional disasters at 2 a.m. And once you realize your brain is constantly trying to protect you through overanalysis, something changes. You stop feeling crazy. You start recognizing, oh, my brain is doing the hyperaware human thing again. Which honestly makes the spiral feel way less powerful. So now I want to know, what's the most ridiculous thing your brain has ever massively overanalyzed?